How to Start Your Business Online, part 3 of 5. So what we've looked at is we started in part 1 on your focus. Go back and watch it if you're just starting here. Part 2 is looking at what name should your business be under. Again, go back and watch it if you're just starting now. Okay, part 3, this is looking at what are you going to sell? What is your offer? So you know what your focus is. And when we're looking at your focus, we were looking at your personality, your prowess, and can you remember the third? Your passion. That's it. So when we're looking at your passion, your personality, your prowess, these all come together in your offer and what you want to sell. And if you really are starting right at the beginning and you're watching this and thinking, how can I earn money? What can I do? And you know you're trying to sell your smarts, what's in your head, your knowledge, your experience, because that's where I specialize in, and I'm guessing that's why you are here on this channel. And if you're new to my world, hello, I'm Susanna Reay, and I am an international global business mentor who's been working and living online for the last 22 years. So I know a thing or two about starting a business online. In fact, this is the 5th business I've started up online in that time. This is the one that's going to stick. But this is why as well, that I don't want anyone to get precious at the start over what's the name I'm serving under, which I covered in the last issue. So when you're starting up as well, is what I need you to think about is what can you do now, and think about it as serving one-to-one. Most people try and leapfrog forward these days and go, I'm going to run a course because I want to do passive income so I can just create something and it can sell. Now, if you're a graphic designer and you make wonderful designs and templates, you might have that because you could sell templates where you don't need to connect with people one-to-one. And that can be something really good. So time savers are something that people love to buy. And people just sort of snatch them up if they're at a good price. So if you're in the design space, time savers, templates, scripts. If you're a copywriter, people will pay for scripts and content planners. Anything that means that they think less. If you're more in the transformational space, it's really worthwhile starting one-to-one, working with real people, having real conversations, and ensuring real transformations are happening. So again, in the space I cover the majority of, which is coaches, consultants, and creatives, is you're in the business of transformation. You're facilitating transformation. And what you want to know is how can I do that and in what process? And this will always start with experience. Because before you define who your audience is, you need to start testing and working with different people. Because your initial idea of who you want to work with, it might not be a good fit. They might not see you as the expert they want. They might be looking to someone else. But your ideal client might be just over here. So I really suggest at the start, work with at least 10 people one-to-one. Get on calls on Zoom. If you're working online, put a call out and say, who here is trying to achieve this transformation that I help with? I would love to have a conversation with you and see what you want to do. So you start with market research as well. And on that call, if you connect, and they then will go, well, how can I work with you? And this is why you need to define your offer next. We're still not gone tech. We haven't put in sort of payment places. We're very close to that. But I want you to think about what is the minimum viable offer, MVO, that you could give to someone today like that you could help them. So without getting complex, without having to set up all the tech and all the rest of it, what could you give to help motivate them forward from A to B in as short a time frame as possible? Because everybody is short on time, and quite often they just want help to get started, to get over that initial hump. If they still need you, there would be a follow-on package. But right now, what is that minimum viable offer, your MVO? Write it down right now if it's coming up to you and you're listening to this. So think, who is it for? Who is my audience? Who do I think it's for? And what do they get? What is the problem it solves? What's going on in their head as to why they would want to connect and pay for your solution? Think about how fast do they want this? Is it urgent? Is it something that, yes, they need and they'll want to have and do now? Or is it a nice to have? Nice to haves are a lot harder to sell, trust me. You want to lean into something that that person is ready to invest in and wants to do now. So there is going to be a pain, and there's something that they're just not getting and they're irritated with, and they want help to find the solution. Whether that's a dirty window and needing the right cleaning brush, absolutely, that's a pain and a solution. Or whether they're wanting to lose weight and they don't know how, maybe that's a nutritionist. Maybe they've had an ache in their neck for a long time and are super stressed and they're trying to work out, how can I solve that? They're fed up of taking traditional painkillers. They'll be looking for alternative therapies. There's lots of things, but we do need to know what that pain is, how fast they want it. And then once you've got those things in place, and if they say, right, how can I, how do we get going? How do I get started on this? The easiest way to start taking payments these days, and again, I'm going to push you away from all the tech. Yes, you can take payments through PayPal, PayPal Me. That's actually quite an easy one, and it's quite equivalent to the easiest of all, which is a direct bank transfer. This is where you just give your account details and they send you the money. And then when it lands in your bank is when you get started. Now, did you spot then? I didn't say you start working and then you invoice, or you invoice 50 up front and then 50 afterwards. No, energetically, these people are reserving your time and energy, and they need to reserve that slot. So payment up front always. You may decide to give a payment plan, but remember the payment plan starts at the beginning and will be well and truly finished before they finished working with you. And you need to have a payment, because that way they're going to rock up and do the work. Because honestly, a lot of people, they consume free content, and will you be doing the work? In fact, will you be doing the work? Let me know below this video. Are you doing this work? Are you implementing this advice? I would love to hear, because in this series where we've just got to the end of part 3 of 5, and we were covering what is the offer, what are you going to sell, and how are you going to take the payment, because we've looked at your business name and we've looked at the focus, and they were steps 1, 2, and now we've done 3. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and then go and watch the first 2 if you're doing this out of order. Go back to number 1, there's a reason. I've got this underneath here. Find number 1 first. Otherwise, come with me and we'll land on part 4, which is where to market your service. I'll see you in the next episode.